Thanks for coming, guys. My name's Phil Zimmer. I'm with DMEA, and I got roped into talking about energy efficiency today by Tom and Ryan, which is fine because that's what I'm interested in. So, well, this will be real informal. I'll go through some slides. I was asked to keep this real short and quick, which if you've ever heard me talk is almost impossible. I can't do anything. I can't talk for just a little while. I got to talk forever. So anyway, we'll get going on the energy portion of this. DMEA and you guys, this is what I propose our mutual goal is. We just keep your energy dollars from flying out the window. So believe it or not, DMEA is a cooperative. We don't make money on selling energy, so we don't want you to use any more energy than you absolutely have to do what you need to do at your house. This is when we say energy, where does my energy bill pay for? The energy in this slide could mean gas or electric. So obviously heating and cooling, it doesn't matter whether it's natural gas, propane. About half of your heating dollars or your energy dollars go towards heating your house. Then you got water heating at 11%. Clothes dryer you can see is a pretty good one at 10. Lighting is 7. So at DMEA, what we try to do is have an answer for kind of each one of these pieces of the pie, and you'll probably see some of that as we go through here. But there's 3 ways, in my opinion, to lower your energy costs. One of them is it's kind of like free, cheap, and a little more expensive. Conservation would be quit doing things, quit using lights, and we'll show you some examples, or don't use as much. Efficiency is performing the same tasks using less energy. That's what I like. And then distributed generation would be that we would make our own power, or we would, things like micro wind, PV, hydro, things like that. So 3 ways to save money or save energy, if you will, and we'll kind of break them down just real quickly. So conservation tips. There's books like this that are up there on the by the TV there that have literally got hundreds of ways to save energy, whether that be gas, electric. A lot of these are focused on electric. There's Spanish versions of these if somebody wants that too up there. But so here's just a few. Conservation are things like turning the thermostat down. I would say manually, you could go turn it down. Efficiency would be buying a programmable thermostat, which we have an example of one of those on our booth up here. But turning lights off when not in use, that's conservation, is turning them off. Again, efficiency would be something like a compact fluorescent light bulb, an LED light bulb. It's going to cost you a little more than just turning your other light off. So these are, in my opinion, really cheap or free ways to save money. Cut your shower times in half, defrost your freezer regularly, close your blinds, dry clothes on a clothesline instead of a dryer. And somebody here lives in a subdivision, right? And I hear it all the time. I can't have a clothesline in my subdivision. I've used it in my garage. I've put rope across my garage and hung stuff out there. Usually it's stuff that I wash that my wife really doesn't want in the dryer anyway, but it does work even in the middle of the winter. So those are examples of conservation. And then of course efficiency, that would be, in my opinion, lower cost. So low flow shower heads, caulk and seal your air leaks, prevent air filtration. DMEA is working right now. We just did a pilot project in Olathe. I don't know if you read about it or saw our website, where we took about a dozen homes and we air sealed and insulated them, and we modeled it. I actually just yesterday I got all the payback analysis done on that, and it ranged from 5-year payback to a 20-something year payback, depending on the type of home. But a lot of that caulking and air sealing you could do yourself, honestly, on your own home. You don't need to pay somebody to do it. And I'm gonna refer to a lot of products that you can go to later and get more, but this home energy efficiency guide, this is a DVD that we produced about 1.5 years ago. it'll kind of step by step take you through different things. There's insulation, how to check your insulation levels. There's how to fix air leaks, heating and cooling. We got water heaters on here, lighting, windows, appliances. The best part of this is the bloopers, in my opinion, because again, we're not professionals, but pick up a copy of this if you don't have it, or if you have it at home and you haven't watched it yet. This is kind of a step-by-step, chapter-by-chapter way that you could do your own energy audit at your own house. So stuff like that. Obviously, programmable thermostat, CFL light bulbs. This is kind of old. I need to change that. A CFL light bulb isn't $5 anymore. They're about $1. Pretty cheap. But those are examples of efficiency. Here's an example of energy efficiency repairs. This is the bottom of a bathtub at a member's house. And they were complaining about several things, but one of them was being their house cold. And I remember the lady saying something about the insulation in the crawl space. She didn't know what it was. So I crawled under there. We were doing an audit. And I came back out and I said, do you get really cold in your tub? Or is there a part in your tub that's really, oh, yeah. I freeze my buns off in the tub, even with hot water. Well, that was why. This was directly, air, and there's no insulation. So her husband cut a piece of, I went back and took a picture of this, but, he cut some blue board and foamed it up, and it's not pretty, but it's underneath the house. Who cares? It works great. So that's an example of something you as a homeowner could do, or you could have your husband do it, you could have your nephew do it, or your son, I don't know. Or you could hire it done. Caulking, here's where we're caulking around, this was a fan in a bathroom. These are those little insulator for the switches. You can insulate there. This is the attic access door. You could put the same door seals and then put some weight up there, and you'll get a good seal on your attic access door, because a lot of cold air comes in there. And then the one up in the far, I guess it'd be your guys' right-hand corner, that's just an example of caulking around your air ducts or your vents, your supply ducts. So those are examples of caulking. This is an example of the person who owns the house that this filter was in is in this building today. But I can't tell you what his name is, because he'll get mad at me. He's watching me right now, though. This is a clean filter. This is a dirty filter. This will cause your premature failure of your furnace. And it uses a ton of extra energy, because you just can't get that airflow through there. So all of a sudden, your house is not working. It's getting noisier and noisier. Your bill's going up. You need to clean your filters regularly. I would suggest at least once a month you check them. That's good. So you've got him trained, don't you? He's a good husband. You better hang on to him. Anyway, that's just a reminder to keep your filters clean. And then, so we had conservation, which was pretty much free stuff, in my opinion. And we had efficiency, which was doing the same work, just doing it more efficiently. And that was the cheaper of them. And then we have efficiency. We got higher return, high investment. Those are things like geo-exchange, heating systems, insulation. So what I'm proposing is this stuff costs bigger money. Insulation's not that bad. Geo nowadays isn't really that bad. But the first thing you should do is the simple stuff like air sealing, turning your lights off. The money you save from that, you could save up for stuff like this, I guess is what I'm proposing. So it runs the gamut. And again, I could talk for probably hours on all the different tips and things. Rather than that, I'll show you where there's a bunch of resources. And then here in a minute, you can ask questions and try to stump me. Doing this in several different, here recently, several venues, I get questions about windows. So I threw a slide in about windows. If you're building a home, buy the best window you can get. It doesn't mean the most expensive window. It just means the one with the best U value. And then typically what you're going to pay more for is creature comforts. Can you clean it from by flipping it, and you don't have to go outside to clean the windows or stuff like that. But so by the lower the U value, the lower that U value, the better. If you have windows in your current house and they don't have a hole through them, money-wise, it probably doesn't pay to replace them. That's not a real great payback, is replacing your windows. Will you be more comfortable? Will it look better? Yes, it will. But you literally have probably a 40-year payback energy-wise on your windows, unless the old ones had a whole rock thrown through them. So I just didn't want anybody to. That's not the number one thing I would do to save energy on my house. And then I get a lot of questions on this. The Eden Pures and the Amish fireplaces, should I buy those? A watt is a watt. So they're all 100% efficient. Everything electric is 100% efficient. The byproduct of that efficiency is heat. So the Eden Pures, all these other heaters, the Amish fireplace, they are no more efficient than a $35 plug-in heater at Walmart. If you like the way they look, you like the fact that they have wheels and you can drag them around, that's great. I just wouldn't want you to spend $500 on one of those when you could have the same efficiency with a $30 heater. Excuse me. And honestly, your natural gas fireplace is way cheaper to heat your house with than electric anyway. So that's, in my opinion, the truth about the Eden Pures and the Amish fireplaces. So again, here's some two different versions, Spanish and English, of energy saving tips. Please grab those before you leave. There's literally hundreds of ideas there. We have rebates for water heaters with lifetime warranties. We have appliance rebates at DMEA. We have geothermal rebates now. So there's a www.dmea.com is a great place to go to look for rebate information if and when you're going to buy any appliances. So here's just a couple of things. $30 for a dishwasher, Energy Star. $40 for a clothes washer. Whoops. Refrigerators are up to $100, so are freezers. When I say up to, you get $40 for an Energy Star refrigerator. If you turn in your old one at the same time and it gets recycled, and by recycled I mean evacuated and crushed so that nobody else can waste energy with it, then you get $100. It's another $60. So those are a couple of rebates we have. And look out for number one. So you guys have the control over your energy bills. I get people talk to me daily, or they'll ask me questions. What are you guys doing that makes my bill so high? We're just selling you what you asked for. We gave you a meter and you're using it, so you get to control your bills. We are here to help, though. You guys can always call DMEA. You can call and ask for me if you would like. That's my entire job, is trying to help people save money, save energy. So there's my contact information. Does anybody have any questions? I know I went through that fast, but they told me I had 10 minutes and I probably took 15. Does anybody have any specific questions about anything at all? I explained it that well. I don't believe you. What's that?
Set him down the basement, put some insulation around that back.
Yeah. You'll see a lot of that. I highly encourage you to look at this DVD. That's a good way to audit your own house. And if you have questions on, my house looks like this, and the DVD showed one like that, just call us and we can help you. We can explain that.
It is cold to sit on that bathtub.
Exactly. Many homeowners have not been underneath the crawl space of their house. I know people that have lived in their house for 30 years and have never been in the crawl space, or they don't know what they have for insulation. They don't know what they have underneath. So good idea to go take a look, and this will show you what to look for. Guys, thanks for coming.